So, good morning, friends. I again welcome you back in this class of video lecture. This is MA Previous English Literature, Paper 2, and for last couple of days, or rather, I would like to say, for last couple of weeks, we are doing poetry section. In fact, Paper 2 consists of poems from different eras, from different ages. So we have been doing nowadays the Good Morrow, a very spiritual poem written by Donne. We have already done stanza 1, we have also done stanza 2, and today we do the final stanza, that is third stanza. In stanza 1, the lover, in fact, it is a discussion or dialogue of the lover and the beloved. So, here in this poem, the lover speaks and the beloved remains silent. So, in the stanza 1, the lover speaks about his insignificant life which he led so far because he was not able to meet his beloved, and this part of life was quite uh, meaningless and insignificant. So he compares that life to that infant which is separated from the breast of his mother, and he compares even that life to the seven sleepers. As depicted in mythology, the seven sleepers had to sleep for more than 200 years, and they were quite oblivious about the occurrings of the world. So, the height of this stanza reaches its consummation when the lover says, when the lover speaks to the extent of saying that if ever any beauty I did see, which I desired and got, it was but a dream of thee. The poet confesses in a very outspoken way. The poet says that other beautiful women whom he loved and whom he met so far, right? They were mere visions, or they were mere reflections of the beauty of this present beloved. So this is the height of the consummation of love that the poet confesses. In the second stanza, the lover says that now the time is come to bid morning to the waking souls, since both are ready to enter the domain of self revelation, the domain of self realization. Now we come to the third stanza. So before I we do the explanation, it is appropriate for us to read the poem of the third stanza. My face in thine eye, thine in mine appearances, and true plain hearts do in the faces rest. Where can we find two better hemispheres? This is very important. The hemisphere here refers to the old world and the new world. The poet, the lover says that where can we find two better hemispheres? Their own world could be well compared to this world where man and woman reside and live. This is the sensation of platonic love, that they do not require this world which is desired by each and every one, because their world is the real world. This is spiritual love, this is platonic love, that they do not require this world. He says, where can we find two better hemispheres? This is their own world, they have created their own world, and they could create it out of this love, out of this dedication. This love has enabled them to create a new world of their own. And this new world is quite different from this world, right? So, where can we find two better hemispheres without sharp north? Yes. And in this newly created world, there is no sharp north and there is no sharp west. Because in the world of mortal man and woman, north decays because of cold, and south decays, or south is not that much important because in the south the sun sinks. So the south represents death and decay. North also represents death and decay because north decays due to cold and south is not welcoming because it is the place where the sun sinks. But he compares this newly world, their world, to this world and considers that their world is better. That's why he says ours is the better hemispheres because there is no north and there is no south. We could see the height of the imagination. We could see the use of metaphysical conceits and imagery deployed in this poem. Whatever dies was not mixed equally, and the lover says, as a scientist, as a materialist, as a pragmatic man, that which is subject to death, who dies, who decays, who is subject to decay and deterioration, that decays which is not made up of equal substances, and they are not subject to such composition because love has enabled them to have been mixed with the help of equal substances. That's why he says whatever dies was not mixed equally. If our two loves be one, you know, as a love poet, Donne always emphasizes on death. As a poet of love, Donne always emphasizes on the fears of separation. As a love poet, Donne always emphasizes on conspiracy, on treachery, which could take place in the mind of man. But Donne says that all such worldly risks and hazards could overcome. When we could overcome all such things, if our two loves be one, if we have been made one because of this love, if we are not two, if we are one, if we are not two entities, if we are one entity, right? If our two loves be one, right? Or thou and I love so alike. There is no question of thou and I. When there is one unity, when such love prevails between us, when such love prevails between us, if our two loves be one, or thou and I, love so alike that none do slacken, none can die. So, this is the explanation of the third stanza. So, now we can take up its explanation part. The poet can see his own face reflected in his beloved's eyes, she her own in his. Their hearts are reflected in their faces reflected their love. Where else can they find better globe? In their faces there are no sharp northern or southern declinations. In their globe, their faces, there is no polarity or differentiation. The poet feels that whatever dies is made up of unequal compounds. If their love for each other is equally intense, neither of the two can die, for it is only the mixture of unequal elements which is subject to decay. So, friends, with this we complete this poem, The Good Morrow, written by John Donne. So, we have done 3 poems so far of Donne, The Flea, A Valediction Forbidding Morning, and the third poem is The Good Morrow. And from tomorrow onwards, we do the last poem written by John Donne. Thank you.